Hey guys, welcome to another episode of 4PlayerAnimecast. We are still grinding through this very busy season. And you know, I know you guys are like, wait, isn't the fall season over already? What's happening? We're already at December. Yes, but also for some reason we just have a lot of freaking shows up our ass. So I don't know. It's all getting balanced. Our schedule might be a little bit jumbled in the upcoming weeks, but we'll try to see how we can arrange that. It is episode 158, part 5 again of our fall 2020 review session, and second last. Or we'll have one more, and that'll cover a lot of the big hits of this season, a lot of the big names of this season, rather. So just watch out for that as well. So yeah, so that'll be that. We'll wrap up the end of the year in our usual manner. We'll do our previews. We'll try to do our end of the year show. Obviously, that's important to us, and we'll see how it goes from there. But enough of me speaking. Here are my compatriots: Dark,
Hey,
Near,
Hey,
and Toast.
Mayor, happy Thanksgiving.
yeah.
yeah,
How was your
thank
Thursday?
Happened a while ago.
What? What do you mean?
This guy doesn't know. He's supposed to thank Americans.
Yeah,
On this day.
he's supposed to sing Star Spangled Banner. But
Yeah, Mayor,
yeah,
how dare you have
So
Thanksgiving before
thanks,
us?
America.
yeah.
Did Christopher Columbus even come up there?
But yeah, Thanksgiving and Black Friday have both gone by in the United States,
Hey,
so
you
that was
can't
a
say
little
that
bit of
word.
that was a little bit of chaos there. But let's just get right into it. Near, what have you been up to these past 2 weeks?
Um, Not much. I've been you know, grinding Shadowverse. The mini expansion came
I
out.
thought you quit.
I took a break, but then I didn't.
Near is like a long time. Like he is like a Shadowverse old man right now. At
Yeah,
this point,
yeah.
you've played Shadowverse since.
Since
Actually, no.
Darkness evolved,
Yeah,
yeah.
you came in, start playing at the same time as I did, right? And then
Yeah.
I just like cut the fuck out at like
Yeah.
when
You were
when
the
the new
smart one.
when the new class came along, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways,
So is there a
Um
new class besides Portal now?
no,
no,
no.
thank God.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure the Shadowverse team has basically said like they never want to add another class like ever again.
why
Um,
not?
It's
because
understandable though. It's just
it's
too hard to balance.
it's way too hard to balance and like, you know,
You
just
gotta make new shit every
you
expansion.
have to make so many new cards and
Right,
like
exactly.
typically because if I don't know if you remember, but back when Portalcraft first launched, it had
They
like
had to shit out everything, yeah.
it had way less cards than the other
Yeah.
classes, right? And like I guess like the team's decision to like counteract like them having less cards was just like, well, what if all the cards were just fucking insanely stacked with everything?
Right. Right, exactly.
And a consequence of that is Portalcraft launched and it was broken as hell. Like it was really strong. Um, and like the repercussions of that are still felt because in Unlimited, Portalcraft like is like always dominant because those initial cards that were printed are still used because the class was just so strong, right?
Also, it's kind
Um,
of messed up because the way you had to make the initial sort of Portalcraft decks was to buy all of the super powerful, expensive cards, like all of them, right? So literally, you had to immediately buy like 9 of the most rare card, right?
yeah,
Like 9 copies of the most rare cards, three times three. So you're just in this position where you're like, okay, well, fuck.
yeah. Um, but yeah, hopefully, ideally, they never ever add a new class because that's just way too much headache. But yeah, the mini expansion came out. Kind of underwhelming. It didn't really change very much. Uh, at least for the decks I play. I feel like even the decks I've been seeing, they aren't really that different. The one new legendary card that Swordcraft got was they got like a reprint of Walfred. Um, which is like kind of a weird deck like archetype that they're trying to make, where it's like Walfred is the only commander card in the deck, and then whenever Walfred evolves, he like buffs
Yeah, no,
all of
I
the
know that. Yeah,
officers.
I know that.
I haven't really been seeing people play it though, so I don't really know how strong it is.
I mean, it's that sort of card has been there for ages, right? You know,
Yeah,
Ektar being the
yeah.
most infamous example, right? Arguably.
Um, but I mean, with Walfred though, it's like all of them in the deck, right?
Right.
Like, but yeah. Um, yeah, I'm back in, so you know,
God damn it, Nier.
I'm having fun, you know, in quotes. But other than that, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14. I've been leveling Machinist, which is pretty fun, and that's about it,
Okay.
really.
What about or in terms of like anime stuff, anything? Anything going on
Um,
here?
I mean, I've been keeping up with Higurashi. It's still pretty good. Pretty interesting. Um,
Still very strong in its Higurashi
yeah,
things, right? Because you said it was
yeah,
essentially
yeah. It's pretty cool. Other than that, I watched
Do you like the new
Noblesse.
art style, Nier?
I do, I do like the
Do you
new
like it better than the
style.
old one?
Um, Probably yeah.
Because it looks like early 2000s compared to how clean it is nowadays.
I mean, it's
You
still
like
pretty clean.
the old chunky faces of the early 2000s?
Yeah, I mean, it's
No,
not
he said he
quite.
liked the new, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like the new one a lot more. Like old Higurashi. I mean, I talked about when I covered it. It's kind of ugly, but but yeah.
Are you
I did.
saying that people in the early 2000s were chunky and ugly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, I watched Noblesse, which I'll be covering this episode, and
yes.
fucking hate that show.
He likes it very, very much.
Yeah.
He's supporting it for the sake of the of carrying the entire Korean anime industry on his back.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you, Nier, for that 2-week summary. What about you, Dark?
Um, you know,
Tell us about your
as far as
Thanksgiving.
anime goes, I stayed home. I didn't do anything. Because my family wanted to do like rapid testing where we were going to go beforehand, and there was really only one person we were concerned about. Because half of the people that would have been there had already had and recovered from COVID at least a couple months ago. So there would have only been, I think, 3 people there that hadn't had it. So potentially, like me, my mom, and and then my aunt and uncle. But chances are that me and my mom also did have it. I just tested negative for antibodies, so
Right.
who the fuck knows? But yeah, it was pretty good. Food, still made food, still ate. You know, it's been all right. Got got really sick the night before because
Oh.
I don't know what the fuck happened, but me and Nier and Sin were watching the original Godzilla until like 3 and something in the
What the
morning.
fuck?
And I don't know if it was, I guess it was because I stopped dieting and I lost like another 30 something pounds. So, but I drank like 4 or 5 spike seltzers during the night. And I guess that's a lot. Like, I can't tell anymore. Because, like, during the height of COVID, when I gained a bunch of weight, like, I was just crushing that easy in like a couple hours
I
of
think
not
that was
feeling it.
that was probably you drinking maybe it at like 3 a.m. in the morning while
Yeah, and so I was like, I went to bed. I felt all right, and then I just bolted awake. I was like, oh, fuck. But yeah,
Jesus.
I mean, it was either that or, just the fear stricken within me from Godzilla and the, the potential that radiation and nuclear studies have. But yeah, Godzilla, good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait for the end.
I knew there was a reason why it became famous.
Yeah, I was like,
Anyway.
everyone talking about this Godzilla, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I saw New York Godzilla. It's
Gotta prove it. Gotta prove it's
kind of
worth,
whack.
dude.
A little whack on it, Like,
It's a lot of
Animation seems a bit dated. Not gonna lie.
yeah, I don't know about this CG. I don't know about it. It seemed kind of weird.
Oh, jeez. Anyways, good to see that you had a fun time. I'm glad that it wasn't anything
But yeah,
serious.
miniatures are fucking awesome. And other than that, I've been keeping up with anime. Akadama Drive continues to be great. It's still very stupid, still very over the top, and still very like, I don't know, like it's still like characters are dying, like things are happening, and I'm just like, yeah, this is this is great. Like, cause you kind of like you kind of know where it's going. It's like very much a production. So that's very good. Jujutsu Kaisen continues to be incredible. Really great balance between comedy, action, drama. Newest episode, no spoilers, but our boy Floop is here. That's all I'll say about that.
All right.
Oh yeah, and also note about that show, post credits, there's a short. I don't know if people have been missing it or not, but I haven't seen many people post about them. But they're pretty good. There's like usually like a 2-minute like joke bit with the characters. So
Okay.
stick around for that if you're watching it.
All right. Yeah, I need to get more to Akadama Drive. I like the first couple of watched, so I need to actually keep watching it. So
yeah, the next episode is titled "The Shining." So
oh god,
great.
please.
The episode titles are incredible.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, check those out. Other than that, I've been playing WoW like almost nonstop the past couple of days because of the new expansion, and it's really fucking good so far.
Nice.
So that's nice after being through like, what was it, like 2 or 3 years of what I would say is definitively WoW's worst expansion it's ever had with BFA. So Shadowlands has been dope as hell. It has like issues with it, but honestly, like even things that I had called out on the podcast before, like abilities being locked based on what like mini faction you choose for the end game. I'm just kind of like whatever, like I'll have to make it work. It's been pretty dope. It's crazy what can happen when a game adds a fucking like roguelike tower to it that just makes you have ridiculous abilities inside of it that's completely inconsequential to the rest of the game. Every game should have that because it's just fun. And yeah, that's about it. That's my 2 weeks.
Okay. Toast. What about you?
Hello, it's me.
Yes,
Let me talk about Heaven's Feel Part 3 Spring Song.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Guess what? I didn't watch it. Because a couple of days after the double feature, all the movie theaters closed. So they're like, we'll refund it. And I'm like, damn it. So I didn't get to watch it.
That's how it goes.
Now I know how you feel, Nier. Being unable to watch Heaven's Feel.
Yeah.
Now I'm hoping that they release it in the spring like it was intended to. 1 year from now.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Don't worry, Nier. We'll watch it together in the spring.
Uh-huh.
We'll wait for Shiro in the Sakura blossoms, just like Sakura does.
The Nier and Toast will both be waiting together under the blossoms. Yes.
What is the concept of time but eternal waiting?
Yeah. Anyways, anime wise, or I guess other than haven't.
Anime. So that what is it? Don't starve. What's the Bound Refusal game again? Don't explode.
Keep talking and
quiet.
nobody explodes.
Yeah, that one. That was a good collab. You guys should watch it.
Keep quiet and everyone dies.
Yeah. We're good. I didn't get to watch Heaven's Feel.
Yeah. Again, that is unfortunate. Anyways, I guess for me,
What'd you do, Spire?
I kept up. I am still praying at the altar of Majo no Tabi Tabi. It is still great. I checked out a little bit of Dropout out of Fruit Tart. It was I think Dark will talk a little bit more about that a little bit.
Who is the Fruit Tart? Is that a euphemism? Or is that an actual tart?
We'll talk about the summary a little bit, but it was what it is, and then other than that, I haven't been up to too much. I've been watching a lot of freaking YouTube videos recently because there have been some interesting, tech and VODs and everything else. I've been kind of fucking being a freaking stream monster and shit. Not great. It is what it is. What else is there? Real life, some translations, so on and so forth. Being angry at people, setting up setting up, or not setting up, but rather getting back into again real life schedule pace. And that's pretty much about it. Oh, and also guiding some poor sheep away from the land of the gotchas, because people are like, "How do I get into gotchas?" I'm like, "You shouldn't."
Don't.
The answer is
How
you
do I
don't.
get in? Why the fuck would you want to?
Again, we've had this discussion a couple of times before, but it's like the people who like in
Well,
gotcha
yeah,
Discord.
I lost my Rockman X Dive account completely. So there went $70.
What is it? The people in this gotcha Discords who are like, yeah, this game is so free to play. Like you can easily just get all this shit in like 8 months or whatever it is, right?
So free to play.
If you grind it out, if you just play up to like 80%, 90% efficiency, and again, beginners have no idea what 80%, 90% efficiency means in terms of your life schedule being like wrecked. But if you play to like 80%, 90% efficiency, you can just F2P everything and like you can get like a full spark in like 3 to 4 months. I'm like, do not encourage them to play gacha games. Are you guys afraid? You guys are like, you guys are all adults, right? Like, don't encourage kids to play gacha games.
Maybe you guys should play Azur Lane like me. Did you know it only took me 20 pulls to get all the Dead or Alive collab characters from the
Did
from
you
the
know I
gacha?
love stack an
Man,
SSR?
Very easy.
I already fucking like dropped. God, what is the other one from that dev?
Oh,
Girls Frontline?
Girls Frontline?
Nah, not Girls Frontline. Isn't
Oh,
it?
Arknights.
Yeah, Arknights.
Oh,
Yeah, I already
Arknights,
dropped
yeah.
that shit.
Mm.
Oh, no.
Well, does Arknights not have the 7% SSR drop rate?
I mean, I think it does. I dropped Arknights
I
because there's
think
nothing
Arknights
to
had
fucking
6%.
do.
But yeah, Arknights has like no content, so.
It's just like you get in and it's endgame plus gotcha rolls. Yeah.
How come Fubuki's still playing it? And how come Hanamakiya?
Because she's a fucking whale lord. Like,
dude, fucking 80%. Dude, there are still like a significant number of people in in Japan that up until it got fucked up, like it's closed. Magi Reco is closed in Japan too, right?
I think it's still going.
Oh, it's still going. There are fucking
yeah, I'm pretty
people.
sure it's still going in Japan.
There's still significant amounts of people still fucking playing Magi Reco in Japan. Like people in Japan will play literally any fucking shit ass like fucking mobile game as long as it has some semblance of like, I don't know, like cute anime girls or whatever the fuck. It's like so fucked up. Anyways, that's just a big rant from me, but I haven't been up to much other than that. Just doing some counseling, addiction counseling, so on and so forth. But yeah, I guess with that, we'll just start off real quickly. First off on the list, Toast.
Hello.
What do you have for us today?
So,
Yes.
let me tell you about what's your favorite Shonen Jump Force protagonist, Dark?
It's Deku from the hit series JoJo.
What about you, Nier?
Probably Kaiba.
Oh yeah,
Forgot he was fucking in that.
Yeah.
He is in that.
How about you, Spire?
Is Medaka in it? No, it's not, right? No, it's
You're thinking of the other one. The other one. We're talking Jump Force.
Yeah. No.
Only men
I'm getting
allowed
confused
in
with
Jump
all
Force.
beat 'em up.
Actually, are there any female characters in Jump Force?
I don't.
There's Boa
Yes, I
Hancock
think
and
there are from Hero Academia, especially.
I saw
There's
a really funny. I saw a
characters.
really funny bug in that amongst the many in Jump Force, obviously. But I saw a really funny bug with Zoro, I believe. So Zoro is my favorite character.
Zora.
Jump Force has Rukia from
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Rukia, Boa Hancock. Who else? Soccer, is Soccer in there?
Probably not.
I have no idea.
Anyways, keep going, Toast.
So yeah, so Medaka Box isn't there. You know why? Because your shows suck.
Oh man.
Yeah. Everyone knows the best Shonen Jump was in the 90s. Okay? You know what started in the 90s?
What?
Goku started in the 90s. Shaman King, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, Dragon Ball. And you know what this is? Who did I miss? Did Bleach start in the? No, Bleach did not, did it?
No way. There's no way Bleach started in the fucking 90s.
No.
Yeah, you know what all of those have? 90s magic. You know who else was in Jump Force that no one knew but I did? Because I read the manga and it was great.
What?
Dragon Quest Dino Daiboken. Where am I going? Oh yeah. So let me give you the rundown what this is.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know what Okay, so the first Dragon Quest started in 1970. No, not 79. 86. That's right. So have you guys heard of this guy named Akira Toriyama?
No.
You know, famous for his legendary work, Arale. Is that it? Yeah, right. Yeah. So he worked on this project called Dragon Quest, and it's pretty cool. Fast forward to 1989.
It's pretty okay.
After 3 Dragon Quests. Yeah, Dr. Slump, that's the one. Arale is the pink-haired girl who beat Vegeta in a fight. So where was I? Yeah. Fast forward 3 years to 1989 with the upcoming release of Dragon Quest IV. And some dude was like, hey, Akira Toriyama, I like Dragon Quest. Let me work on a spin-off novel. And he's all like, okay.
Okay.
So this is what this is. Dino Daibo Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai is a Dragon Quest spin-off it's not set in any of the worlds, but it's got a Dragon Quest world, so you know
Is
that's what
it
all is. That's
is
what it's about.
is the anime a straight adaptation of the manga?
Yes, no, there's some changes I noticed, but I guess it's
Oh,
the
some changes.
some
Not
speed
just
along the process.
okay.
No, it's not a 1-for-1.
Is it a truncation or are there actual
No, it's
changes?
straight.
Okay, so it's truncations. Well, no, okay, wait. What I was asking is,
Okay,
are those
well,
truncations
there's this
cut off stuff, or do they actually change stuff? Is what
there's some small changes. There's I'll get to that in a bit. Well,
Okay.
yeah. So this you got this young dude named Dai, because his name's Dai, and it's called Dai no Daiboken. Get it? Daiboken, Dai.
Yes, I
So
understand.
he lives on this monster island with an old man monster dude who found him in a raft, and he's living happily with all the monsters. And I should mention that in Dragon Quest World, not all monsters are evil. It's just when there's a Dark Lord permeates his evil throughout the world and turns monsters evil.
Mhm.
So yeah, Dark Lord's been defeated by the previous hero. He's living on this island. Then some evil hero looking dudes, fake heroes, come and try to steal this rare golden metal slime. But Dai's all like, no, and he defeats them. And then some king was all like, hey, a real hero wouldn't beat up children. This child must be the true hero, and gives him the title of hero. And then beats up some more dudes, and then stuff happens. Great, it's great. Basically,
It's pretty episodic, is what you're sort of telling me.
yeah,
right?
it's if you've played any Dragon Quest games, you kind of know what's up. You
Mhm.
start off in a simple village, then you go on a quest to become a hero, whatnot. I don't know. It's very of its time,
Mhm.
very traditional. Not really gonna.
Would you say? I mean, it seems obvious because it's Dragon Quest, but would you say, in terms of like, well, no, were there any earlier like Dragon Quest anime in
There
terms of
was a
90s, like in the 90s when Dragon Quest?
there was a Dragon Quest 3 like OVA kind of thing. Dragon
Um,
Quest 3 is the one with Dragon Quest 3 the first Dragon Quest chronologically? Yes? No. But yeah, there was what like there was that. Then there was Dragon Quest: The Legend of Loto.
Okay.
Was it? And then there's Dragon Quest: The Legend of the Hero Abel. That's another spin-off, but also kind of not. Don't worry about it.
Because
Dragon.
I was about to say, like, if there had been earlier like Dragon Ball adaptations, like way back in the 2000s or 90s,
Yeah.
it would essentially have been,
Spire. The original Dragon Ball is in '90s. The spin-off adaptation is now called Dragon Ball Super.
no.
Educate yourself, dude.
Thank you, Toast. But what I'm saying is, if there had what I was just thinking to myself, if there had been earlier like Dragon Quest like more full on adaptations, they would essentially have been the sort of prototype like uh, dungeon crawler ish anime that we see these days, right? The D&D type where it's like a lot of each episode is sort of talking about kind of going along and doing these sorts of high fantasy adventures and episodic high fantasy adventures and just doing whatever, right? It's like
What do
uh,
you think? What do you think kick-started the fantasy genre in modern Japan? It's Dragon Quest.
yeah, no, I know. What I'm saying is like in anime.
Are you
I'm
talk,
saying
you want to talk about Sao? Because we can talk about Sao.
we already had this talk.
What?
We already had this talk.
Talk about modern. You gotta talk about Sao and how game like it is.
We already had this talk. I do not want to have it
Anyway,
again.
where am I going?
Yes. Well, you said it was. How are the audio visuals?
You like One Piece and you like One Piece?
Wait, where is this going? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, so who here has watched One Piece
I think all of
recently?
us. Recently. No.
I've never
Recently?
seen a single
Fuck no,
episode
dude.
of One Piece.
Do you know of the drastic style change they made after a certain arc and after a certain movie was released?
No.
So you guys don't know
Yeah,
about
Luffy's
how
fat now.
it looked like One Piece, and then suddenly we're at the what is that Samurai Island called again? Keep forgetting. Wano. Yeah, we're suddenly at the Wano arc. Bam, art change.
Okay.
Have you guys seen Dragon Ball Super Broly and how that looks?
Yes.
Yes.
That's basically how this looks.
Oh.
If you want to put it that way, it's got the stylizations of the dark lines and very manga-esque looking.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm guessing they saw what happened with Dragon Ball Super Broly, and I think One Piece Stampede kind of looks like this too. They're like, damn, people actually like this art style. All right, keep going, because this is made by Toei, and Toei
Yeah.
does control One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Dragon Quest.
Also, Toei has a lot of money.
So it looks just like that. Looks good. I don't have any real qualms about it. It looks very faithful to the manga.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the first or second. I guess the second episode they used some CG with the killer machine enemy because it's a robot, so they used some CG,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell it's CG, but it looks pretty good, very good.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely better than the CG used in Dragon Ball Super and whatnot. But after that, I haven't seen any CG. Maybe for the magic, like no funny 3D models. I don't. Why did I get rid of that? Yeah. What else? What do I have to say? This definitely is a product of its time, as I've been saying. It's the story,
Are you
and
saying that it's? Well,
that's a good. It's a good thing because the 90s Shonen Jump pretty good.
Well, would you? Well,
You like Kenshin? Yeah.
Well, do you think it's out of? Like, what I'm wondering is, when you say that phrase, do you think it's out of place now?
No. Why would it be out of place? Shonen Jump is timeless. Children and young boys who love battle shonen arcs is timeless, Spire. Are you saying that Boku no My Hero Academia's shonen tropes would not be as popular as they were if not for its predecessors? Because shonen's pretty timeless. All boys love fighting mangas. Am I wrong? No. If it did, then why would Shonen Jump be alive even in 2020?
I mean, I don't think I was I don't think I was accusing Shonen Jump of being dated or anything like that. I was just wondering.
Yeah, okay, dude. Whatever, man.
Yes, Spire, what's your favorite? What's your favorite anime?
Shonen Jump hater.
I'm sorry for hating Shonen series.
I mean, you only like shoujo and yaoi.
Yeah, you only like shoujo and yaoi. Fucking girl,
and
get out of here.
Slice of life.
I apologize.
Get out of here. But yeah,
I apologize for being a secret woman. Yes. Anyways,
Spire, Spire. Wow, you don't have to be a woman to like shoujo and yaoi.
Are we already kidding?
Yeah, you just have to get baited by one of your friends into watching, fucking Chihayafuru until you realize you're like, half a season in, you're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, this is
this isn't a sports anime at all.
Wait a minute, I'm gay.
Fuck.
If a person does have to get into like a shoujo series, Chihayafuru is one of like the best like ways to secretly just sneak it in right in that ass though.
I don't know, Spire. My favorite shoujo series is Kanazuki no Miko.
Yes. Excellent
And
introduction.
Kyoshiro Totoa no Sora. Those have got giant robot fights. What are you on about?
Anyways,
oh yeah. What else? I mean, I could go on and on about how good this series is because it's really It's made by some dude named
Some dude.
named Rico Sanjo. He's done a lot of cool dude stuff. Dragon Quest, but
Okay.
Dragon Quest Dino Daiboken, I believe, is his premiere manga.
Mhm.
He's also done a Beat the Vandal Buster, which
Yeah.
it goes on as hiatus as much as Berserk has. Near, how
Mhm.
long has the Berserk hiatus been?
Which one?
Forever.
Like, what's the
answer
longest?
is forever.
What's the longest that Berserk has been hiatus for?
Like 4 years, 5 years.
I'm gonna be honest here. The moment that new Idolmaster game comes out on Steam, you're never gonna get a new Berserk again, ever. Like you realize this, right?
I mean,
You realize this, right?
yeah.
So
Like literally, Berserk will start like regressing in terms of volumes. You'll get like the volumes will start disappearing from history once that new Idolmaster game comes out.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, "Wow, this is such perfection. Why even have my work on the market?"
It's like you're reading like volume 13. It starts like fading. Like it's like it gets Thanos from
Yeah, it's like
existence.
fucking Back to the Future, where it's like
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at my copy of Berserk on the shelf. It starts becoming opaque.
It took so much of a hiatus for this Idolmaster game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Beat the Vandal Buster started out in 2002 and ended in 2006 because the artist got ill, and then they started again in 2016. But then the artist got ill again, and the artist has only drawn 2 mangas, this one and Beat the Vandal Busters. So whatever. But yeah, it's every good thing I can say about Dai no Daiboken is basically what I would say for every good, very popular shonen manga in the 90s. It's a shame that it's not as popular as in here in the West as it is in Japan and other, I think, Spanish speaking countries and France for some reason. Yeah, I watched a Mexican dub of Dragon Ball GT years before it came out in the US. How come these fancy foreign countries get the good stuff before America?
Well, Europe tends to have like very interesting like because obviously it's a lot of their like the stuff like when you see it these days, a lot of stuff is just like, oh, why doesn't Europe get anything? Why does US get it? But especially in the early days when sort of the general flux to Western countries was just not as prevalent, right? In general, there was a lot of stuff flowing into European countries as opposed to United States, so on too. So it's a very interesting dynamic and how they got, as you said, they're more in tune with stuff like Dragon Quest as opposed to the United States. So,
I mean, I really really like this. This is a 90s anime revived in the modern era. It's very faithful to its roots, and I really really like it. It's got a good cast of characters
yeah.
that will appear. Apparently, there's only 9 episodes out, but there's no way they're going to be able to tell the entire story in 26. And it's got Toei money, so this is definitely going to be another long running anime. Hey, you better keep your eye on, because there was a last adaptation a long time ago, the first adaptation that didn't complete the series. This one, I hope this one goes beyond that part.
Okay.
But yeah,
Pretty good overall.
I
mean,
I have nothing but praise for Dragon Quest Dino Daiboken. Did you know some of the stuff they made in some of the some of the Dragon Quest stuff, this manga, later got adapted into the games? Did you know that one of the what is it, the pep arts in Dragon Quest XI, Fizz Cracker, came from this series? Some other stuff. Yeah. How come it took? When did Dragon Quest XI come out? How come it took over 25 years to combine fire and ice spells into one magic spell? Dragon Quest.
The mystery
What do
of
you mean?
Japanese RPGs, surely.
Yeah.
Any-
I mean, watch it for yourself. Good. If you,
Mhm.
it's really, really, really good. It's good. Watch
Yeah.
it. Very traditional Dragon Quest. If you like Dragon Quest, you definitely better watch this. If you like,
Yeah, over the movie, you think?
Dragon Quest, Your Story. Don't watch Dragon Quest, Your Story. I mean, if it's on Netflix, sure, but don't pay for it, I guess.
just torrent it, yeah.
No.
No,
but
we only support
I like the series a lot.
subscription services here.
I apologize. We're about to get fucking canceled on Twitter again.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely watch this series. If you like old shonen and not the new, and for some reason like Spire, who doesn't like new shonen,
I
give
just
this a
hate
try.
all shonen. Sorry,
What?
Toast.
Yeah, good. Watch it. Definitely watch it. My one pick of the season that you should definitely watch. Watch this one.
Okay. So yeah, definitely, especially if you want to check out some Dragon Quest stuff that's not a little bit sketch in terms of anime form, do check out this. It's Dragon Quest.
It's Dragon Quest, but combined with a battle shonen. It doesn't become too much like Dragon Quest, but it definitely is Dragon Quest. You know what I'm saying? You know the problem with modern game like animes where hey, you got a status screen and I gotta get this many points to level up. It's got the setting, but not too many of the game like elements. But all the spells are definitely what you know from Dragon Quest. So it doesn't get too overbearing in that regard.
All right. So yeah, do check out Dragon Quest Dai no Daiboken or the Adventure of Dai. And with that, we are on to Dark. First.
I have a little show called Dropout Idol Fruit Tart.
Yes.
So I wasn't sure. I can't remember exactly what
Sorry,
we said.
what's the studio name, or who's behind the studio? Or the anime rather.
That's a good question. Feel. Okay.
Feel. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yes.
Which Feel usually does do pretty like.
Yeah. Tagashi Kashi, I believe they did Oregaeru, of course, before. Recently, I think they've slowed down, obviously because of the pandemic, but also they've just slowed down in general. They did a couple of the last ones are a little bit sketchy, I want to say. They got some money to do Island, right? Which is the Front Wing novel, Front Wing being the visual novel studio behind Grisai no Kajitsu, most famously. They did Hinamatsuri and Tsukigakire. Right. These series. Okay, yeah. Anyways, keep going.
But yeah, so this show is about a girl who, get this, wants to be an idol. Now, I know what you're thinking, really breaking new grounds here. And
What kind of idol? Are we talking Hololive or real life idol?
If only. Yeah, she wants to be like a regular plain old run of the mill idol, you know? Just because, she like interacted with idols as a kid or whatever, they pretty typical. Not a lot about this series is super original. So yeah, anyway, you have the main character, Sakura Ino. And then you have pretty much like the supporting cast of other girls, which are other idols. And she goes to Tokyo from pretty much like super rural Okinawa in order to become an idol. and chase her dreams. And she winds up getting scouted, unbeknownst to her, by like just a super like sketch / like just nameless agency that I think they call it, I forget exactly, I don't know how to say rat in Japanese, but it's Rat Productions. And they're like the lesser of Cat Productions.
Nezumi, right? I believe Nezumi.
Yeah.
Or
and
although that's generally mouse, but yeah, mouse rat.
No, okay, so there it must be called something else, because then they have Mouse House as their like dorm, essentially. So that that's a certain a naming convention for sure. But yeah, so you have it's pretty much like each of them fits like some sort of like, what would you call that, archetype or something, I guess.
Yeah, or character archetype.
Yeah, so you have like each is basically like a character that fits one of those, in a sense, that you would get in a show similar to this. Because it's pretty aimless. It doesn't really have much of like a strict like story in that sense. Like it's just basically, if you like the sort of idle like nonsense like bullshit and trivia of, say, something like Zombieland or Zombieland Saga or something like that.
Yes.
Or even like IMAS or something, but like more of like the super.
With the Zombieland Saga, it's a little bit. Is it even idle? Well, I guess it's like weird lore. It's like the background setup for each of these characters are like really good. Usually we're just like, oh yeah, the background, whatever. The backstory rather of these characters are kind of whatever, and then they start interacting a little bit more in the present, and we're like, oh, this is nice. But I think the Zombieland Saga stuff, the backstory setup was really good, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's similar in that sense. I would just say, like, this obviously isn't as, well done, or rather is like trying. It's not doing the same thing. Like Zombieland Saga very much was trying to, be like is a structured series of things. It's not just trying to really be just this very basic stuff kind of stitched together, and like trying to ride on character like interactions and like almost slapstick-ish situations.
Oh, by the way, the name of the manor, I believe, or the place where they're staying is Nezumiso. So it's like, you know how it's like essentially So is like a general sort of like manor place where people live, but it's like it kind of ends up being generally these days it's kind of used as like, like Sakura So and stuff like that. They had a bunch of people
What
living
about
in one place.
Yuragi? So
Yes, like a share house kind of thing, like apartment kind of shared apartment kind of thing. That's essentially what it's referring, or shared rather place. But anyways, sorry for the interruption.
But yeah, so you have the MC who's just kind of like flirty, I guess, and like the airhead. Then you have
Right,
like
exactly.
the Genki girl. You have like the shy girl who apparently was intended to be like a model and do like more gravure shoots.
Yeah, Bob cut, shy girl, classic. Yes.
Yeah. Then you have like the ex like child actor who's like no one recognizes anymore. And then recently they added like a fucking like stalker type character, essentially, to the group that is like obsessed with the MC. So
It's
but
kind of like
overall, like
it's kind of like Girls in Panzer setup in a way. Where I mean, obviously, Girls in Panzer setup itself is a little bit pretty much pretty standard set of character archetypes, but that's sort of what it reminds me of, especially with the one girl who's like obsessed with like the MC. It kind of reminds me of Yukari. Excuse me. Wait, have you? Wait, sorry, Dark. I'm sorry I brought this up, but you haven't seen Girls in Panzer yet, right? Or did you? Have you seen
I
Girls
have
in
not.
Panzer? Oh, you should. Fuck, you should see Girls in Panzer and become one of us. Become one of us who's just like randomly post fucking Twitter posts about like Girls in Panzer characters. Fucking. But yeah, you should check it out.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna happen at some point. It's kind of a matter of time at this
Anyway,
point.
sorry.
But yeah, so that where was I? Like the character interactions are pretty alright. It's more focused on like it's not really like sectioned, but it's more like fasterish paced, like just running through like random idle stuff with these characters, whether it be like giving out pamphlets because they like have no budget or anything like that, or having like a street performance, or having like a like a parking lot like stage performance prior to like a bigger group performing.
Right.
But overall, I would say the character interaction is pretty alright. The voice acting is pretty good. I want to say they're like not like super huge names, right? Am I insane? Probably should have,
Wait, sorry. Can you say that again?
I want to say the characters aren't really the characters are voiced by newer people. Like a lot of the characters, they do perform pretty well. It's just a lot of them hadn't had
I
many
think
roles, or most.
yes.
Some of them have
I
had quite a bit.
yeah. They don't. They're not. Most of them are. I wouldn't say they're not. They're not newcomers. They, especially the main person. She voices one of the she voices a character in Master Cinderella Girls, who's pretty much a long time sort of character. So a lot of them have just kind of I don't want to say they haven't gotten like schoolgirl A sort of roles, but they haven't been in the spot that much yet. So that's sort of how it is for a lot of these things. Kubota Risa Kubota, I've heard. Yeah, a lot of these people I've heard. They have been in the spotlight again. Anyways, keep going.
But yeah, so the voice acting is pretty solid. It is a little unfortunate. It would have been cool to see like like a majority like newcomers like as like the full main cast. That would have been neat. But what are you gonna do? I forget who the manager is voiced by, but it is very familiar. I don't remember.
The manager?
Yeah. Not credited, I don't think, at all for some reason, but it's definitely I recognize the voice. I just don't remember who it is.
Hikasa Yoko. Hikasa Yoko, I believe, right?
Is that the manager?
Kaji no Hoho, right?
Oh yeah, okay, never mind. Her art on Mall was like really weird compared to the show. The art, I guess hers is from the manga or whatever. But yeah, never mind.
Tsukasa Yoko, she sounds familiar.
But yeah,
Hey, Dark is not a beginner to these things. Come on.
I can't just
She
He's
sounds
just-
like
he's
that
just not
one
a-
chick from K-On!
every now.
He's just not fucking
what?
as obsessed as we are, but he's definitely in. He like hears them and he's just like they're all on the tip of my tongue, pretty much like 80% of the time. Yeah. Anyways, any last words? I guess.
But I'm also never gonna be the person who's like, who's
Oh
like,
yeah, I can't just. Yeah.
like well, no, but I mean also like I don't want to be the
Yeah,
guy.
like Spire out here being like, how was Kana Hanazawa and Dagashi Kashi? Yeah, okay, dude.
True.
Oh my god.
Or
Like
you get people who are like fucking like, oh, who's this person? Like this person, who's this voice actor? And then they like don't even show the voice actor or anything, and it's like they just have a bunch of roles next to it.
Oh,
I see that a lot now for like Genshin Impact characters. They're like, by the way, guys, like the voice for this character, and it's like, if I don't know if like fucking Sugita gets added to the game, they'll just like put up like a bunch of his characters, but like not just be like, yeah, it's Sugita. Like,
yeah.
but yeah, I'm not gonna be like that at the very least.
Fire, do you even know who Matthew Mercer voiced in Bugsnax?
No, I do not.
Yikes.
Kind of bug.
Anyways, any last words, Dark?
I would say watch it if you're in the mood for like a pretty basic-ish like kind of deal. Like not like you just kind of want something like a little fast to watch. Like it's not it ain't bad. It's pretty all right. It's nothing like
Okay.
incredible, but it's not like I don't know. I think it definitely can fill like a sort of spot
Well,
for someone. Like it serves to be like something just chill to watch really quick and not really think about. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I completely passed over what I was gonna say. Is that the show doesn't seem to have like a super high budget. It seems to be very like very like lower budget.
like
but
early
not-
2000s, early 2010s, kind of like.
Yeah, but what they do pull it off at least like to a pretty good extent. Like it doesn't seem terrible either. So
Rare.
I would say that's kind of neat to see, I suppose.
So yeah, I mean, we were talking about a little about this before the podcast started, but it was essentially just I was talking about how we've watched a lot of what people will call aimless series, right? Obviously, one of the more famous ones being K-On, but it's other stuff, Aira, Tamaira, this Kakunin de Shinkoke, so much stuff that's just girls just blobbing around doing the blob stuff, four girls in a club kind of stuff. But a lot of them were aimless in a good way, and there were, I guess, the interactions and what they made of the episode sort of theme, what they were doing that day, were
You
carried out.
say that, but in your examples, you brought up fucking Tamayura. Dude. Like,
oh wait, why do I forget, oh, that's why. No, I mixed up Tamayura with Yu Shiki for some reason. Like twice before when we were talking, and now I don't know why I did that. Why did I do that?
I don't know, man. Tamayura is fucking shit, bro.
I kept saying Tamayura when I was thinking about Yu Shiki. That's so fucked up, man. What's happening to my memory? I'm so. I didn't mean Tamayura. Tamayura is bad. I agree with you. But what I meant was Yu Shiki.
If Tamayura is so bad, then how come the same dude who wrote it also wrote the end of Evangelion?
I wonder.
Really makes you think. Anyways, so Aira, Yushiki, thank you for the catch here. Yushiki, all these are kind of aimless, but then the interactions and the sort of grounding of the characters into whatever the core event that they're doing for the episode kind of helps out. But a lot of this sort of seems it's weird because Dropout out of Fruit Tart pretty much has a sort of similar formula, but it's just I'm always wondering like why am I watching this again? I'm always kind of thinking that it's just I guess the interactions just aren't really funny enough or like interesting enough for me to watch. It's very weird. Um I just don't get the same sense of oh man, I'm like even if they're not really even if all they're doing is messing around for 23 minutes, I kind of want to keep watching it. I don't get that much of a feeling, which is a little bit of but yeah. Any last words, Dark?
No, I would just say closing comment is like if you just for some reason really are like, yeah, I just want to watch some like random idle like side nonsense.
Exactly.
Check it out. Like certainly a quick watch,
Mhm.
but probably because it's not, not super super engaging. But hey, it's better than Misatsu, so we'll see.
Oh, Jesus. Anyways, thank you, Dark, for covering Dropout out of Fruit Tart. And with that, we'll move on to Nier. What do you have for us?
Oh God, oh fuck. I watched Noblesse.
Noblesse. Yet another
Crunchyroll original, dude.
Crunchyroll original South Korean manga original, or,
Yeah.
or excuse me, not manga, webtoon. Although I guess
Webtoon,
it's South
yeah.
Korean, so it's
Why
manga.
didn't you cover it, Spire? This seems like more your territory.
No. Anyways, Noblesse, one of the.
It's one of the bigger ones this season.
I mean, a lot
Dang.
of the stuff coming in from South Korean webtoons these days. The first of many, to be sure, right? In this year, last year, right? I believe, are pretty much all big names, right? They're not. None of these are like names that were just like, oh, this is. I don't think many of people ever. No, they're all freaking like Tower of God, freaking
Yeah.
Noblesse.
God of High School, Noblesse.
They're all
Yeah.
things.
So you're saying this is another Crunchyroll banger?
Yeah.
Yes. Keep going here.
So yeah, this is another Crunchyroll original. I think this one, however, is a little bit more unique in the fact that, like, I believe Crunchyroll is like actually like, they're not just like slapping their name on it like they did with God of High School. I think they're like actually involved with like the production side. You know what I mean? I'm not too sure though.
Wow, that
This is
spells
explain why.
great things.
Because because at the start of every episode it's like a Crunchyroll X Webtoon collaboration. So I think Crunchyroll for this one like specifically reached out to like I guess Webtoon and I guess made this happen. I'm not too sure. But yeah. Fuck this show.
You're not
So
supporting the Korean, if I get the South Korean anime industry here?
honestly, dude, if I'm gonna be honest, like
Is
the
this
fact
the
that
best? Is this
the
the
fact that
best Crunchyroll
Korean
one?
webtoon like anime, like these Crunchyroll originals, like they pretty much all the Crunchyroll originals were like, yeah, Korean webtoons, big hitters, big names, right? And it
Oh,
was
maybe.
and we started off with Tower of God, and that was not very good. It looked like shit. And yeah, it looked like shit. And then God of High School was all right. But like, I wasn't really impressed with the actual like story aspect of it. It was kind of just like it was fun, right? Like it was fun, but it wasn't necessarily interesting. You know what I mean?
The thing is, the way I've seen so many of these webtoons kind of diverge is like they mainly diverge into two categories. One being sort of the supernatural whatever stuff, right? This not only kind of this stuff, but also just kind of like the Chinese phone novels, right? That Toast likes to read a lot of, where it's like the super raging demon warrior of the feudal times kind of stuff.
It's
You know what I'm
called
talking about, right?
it's called Peerless.
Yes, peerless. Excuse me, peerless warrior
Fearless,
dragon.
invincible demon
Yes,
cultivator, from
yes,
Of the
80,000 years
heavens.
ago. Yeah,
yes,
of the heavens.
yes. Thank you, Toast. So stuff like this, right? And then the other genre is pretty much, and Noblesse also, I believe, kind of falls into this, is heavy K drama elements, right? Korean drama, Asian drama elements, right? Where it has a modern thing and then it kind of sucks in the drama. It does whatever that. Noblesse, I think, probably does a little bit less of it, but other stuff does a lot more K drama, romance, melodrama kind of shit.
Yeah.
And there's no real like in between or slice of life kind of stuff, or like really any sort of other idea. So that's a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah. So yeah, all I'll say is I'm not really impressed by Korea's heavy hitters. Say
But
that.
How's the audio visuals to start off of?
So yeah, I guess let's just start off with that. It's done by Production IG, which very well known studio, very solid studio.
Yes.
The audio visuals are not really all that impressive. They're not like offensive or anything,
Mhm.
but they're very generic. The color palette is very boring. And the more I look into it, like this anime's like art style is nothing like the original webtoon. Like the original webtoon is very sharp.
Yeah.
It has very like exaggerated sharp faces, you know what I mean?
It's the very standard like Korean webcomic style. Yes.
Yeah, and this looks nothing like that. Like it's very generic.
Was
Which
Psychopath season 3 decently animated? Do you know?
yeah, it was solid. It was quite good
Okay,
in my opinion.
So it's this specifically, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not too impressive. I mean, not great. Serviceable. Like the action scenes are kind of dull. They don't really do anything very ambitious. Although there's not very many action scenes. I watched like 5 episodes and there were maybe 3 action scenes. So this isn't exactly an action series. But yeah, to start off with a synopsis, although not that it matters because this series just doesn't really care. But the series is about supposedly the main character Rizal, who's like a vampire question mark.
Question mark.
And yeah, he's been sleeping for like 800 years, and he wakes up and it's the modern day Japan, and wow, he's got to fit in, and now he's got to go to school.
wait, modern
But
day Japan? This is not modern day Korea?
it's Japan apparently.
Yeah, it's Japan. It's fucked
What?
up. I don't know what the fuck's
I
going on.
thought he was supposed to be in South Korea.
Nope, it is Japan.
They
But
lied to me.
yeah, the thing is, the series doesn't really like care because this anime starts off in like the second arc of the story, like for the webtoon. So yeah, the first episode just starts off and it shows you like these military guys, and they're killing army men, and you really don't know why, and it doesn't tell you why. And then it goes to Japan, and then it shows the main character, um, just going to school, and it doesn't explain why he's there, who he is, what he is. Uh, and he already has these friends, and they're already hanging out, and they're doing stuff, and it literally does not introduce anything to you. Like it literally just
It's a standard sort of like well, the setup itself, not mentioning any of the quality or anything like that, but the setup itself is a pretty standard like it's the what we've kind of seen of out of some isekais these days, where it's like the demon king or the hero warrior whatever dies or goes to sleep or whatever, and he wakes up 1,000 years later or something like that, right? As the baby, right?
yeah.
So
But
it's like an isekai, but it not.
I mean, sort of. I mean, I guess it's
Structurally, it might as well be. Structurally.
yeah, because the idea is like he's this crazy fucking vampire that's used to like lording over the human race because they're pathetic and weak, and then he wakes up 800 years later, and now there's like technology and stuff, and yeah, um, But the
Can he
series
walk
isn't.
around in the sun?
Yeah, he's fine.
So he's like
Yeah.
Blade.
Yeah. See, the thing is, like, he's not really a vampire. But he is. I don't really get it. Like,
So what? So like a true ancestor? Is that
he's
what you're
got
saying?
he's got like vampire powers, and he's got like red eyes
He's
and pale
is-
skin,
from
and
what
he's
I'm
got
reading
like
of his
hypnosis powers and stuff.
Okay, so
And,
from what I'm
So
reading,
is he like a Skyrim vampire? He just like
So near
loses
true
stats in the
ancestor,
sun.
he's a
true
bloodbender.
ancestor versus dead apostle.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
he's a bloodbender. He's like Carmine essentially, right?
yeah, sort of, yeah. Although they haven't really like shown any of that.
He doesn't suck blood, right? Does he?
I don't know. Like that's the thing. This series does not introduce this main character at all. If anything, it's not even about him. Like he doesn't do anything.
Is he? What do you mean by does it? Are you talking about like? Is it like second person, like Sherlock Holmes and Watson kind of thing, or are you literally talking about the character is not developed currently in the anime?
He literally doesn't do anything. They don't, like I said, this series starts off like halfway through the series. Like the anime starts off halfway through the series. So you don't know who any of these characters are. It's like the series expects you to know who everybody is already, know what's going on. And then it's like the main character is kind of just there. Like he doesn't have any like internal monologue. He doesn't have like any external monologue. He doesn't really have any like introspection at all. Like it seems like the main character in this show is a joke character. Like the only things he's done so far is like when he's at school, he looks at his food and he says some weird shit about waiting for it to multiply.
Dude,
And
that's foreshadowing, bro. That's foreshadowing.
This series is like, yeah, he the first time they do it, it's like I'm waiting for it to multiply, and the other characters are like, "This again, huh?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know what this is."
But by the way, can I just interrupt? This when Nier says it starts in the middle of stuff, he's not even talking about in media res. What happened was earlier on, and by earlier I mean a couple of years ago, I believe is
2016.
Yes, 2016. There was an OVA for Noblesse. It was called Noblesse Awakening, I believe, and it covers apparently the first arc of Noblesse in the webcomic, which is around 70 to 90 chapters. But apparently it does it in a really bad manner, especially since it's one OVA trying to cover 70, 90 chapters at the same time, right? So it's probably not going to do a great job of it. And so apparently you have to watch that in order to understand what's going on now, because the current anime is starting off directly from the start of the second arc. Don't ask me. I did not produce this, so
Yeah, I'm honestly gonna say that like this series, regardless of how like good it could have been, like this show, is a complete failure just because of like that one decision.
yeah.
Like there is no effort made at all to help the viewer understand what's going on. Like this main guy, what the fuck is his name? Rizel, right? Like he's supposed to be the main character, right? But the only thing he's done so far is gags where he like sips his tea and makes like weird like monotone jokes, and like he's stared at another character and not said a single word to like
Yeah, but he's hot though.
egg him into doing something. And it's like, is he really supposed to be the main character? Like I don't even know, because so far all the other characters have done more than him, have had more development, have had like actual motivation for doing stuff, even if it's not very good. But the main character hasn't done shit, and I don't even know who he is. I don't know who the main character is. I don't know who this Frankenstein guy is, which is apparently like his butler or something. But he's also like the headmaster of the school. They like introduced his friends and stuff. Like I don't know who they are. The only characters that like I kind of know what's going on with in this series are like these new like twin vampires that like are looking for like a coffin, and then they keep referring to stuff that's like happened already with the coffin, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. They're like blaming this other character for something that happened, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like the show just like sucks ass, because you'd think like if you're gonna start off from the second arc, like you at least have flashbacks to explain to the viewer like what's going on when a character mentions something, right?
Yeah.
Like if a character mentions like, explain what happened a month ago in that abandoned building, like you'd expect some sort of flashback for a new viewer to be like, to at least see what happened a month ago in that abandoned building. But the series just expects you to know, and the characters just continue talking, and you're
Yeah.
completely
Dude,
lost.
how can you call
This
yourself a
show's for
true
the
fan of
fans.
Noblesse?
Yeah, this show's for the true fans.
How can you even call yourself a true fan if you don't instantly know all these things, bro?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You,
Nia, I
don't
went
remember
in.
what wasn't even in the OVA 4 years ago.
You should just give up on anime.
Nier.
How can you call yourself a true fan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
went
just-
in watching Fate Last Encore, even though I knew everything going on. And I still don't know what happened in
yeah,
that
and you
anime.
still don't know what the fuck happened because that show sucked ass. But yeah, this this is an absolutely horrible decision. I don't know who made it. I don't know like why they're doing it like this, because like if you're already a fan of Noblesse, then you've already read the webtoon, right? And you pretty much already know what's going to happen and what has happened. So there's really not that much reason for you to watch this series, other than wanting to like see these characters in motion, right?
What if you want to support Crunchyroll, Nier?
Then I guess you're fucked in the head. I don't know what to tell you.
I have to support their projects, or else
Yeah.
I'll never do it ever again.
You gotta support the anime industry via Crunchyroll, man.
Yeah. Yeah. This series sucks. This series pisses me off. And I don't even think the character interactions are very good. Like maybe I'm a little biased because I don't
There
know who
seems
any.
to be a lack of character interaction, right?
Yeah,
It
I
seems
don't really know who any of these characters are. And they don't really talk like to each other that much about like themselves. It's kind of just like, yeah, but what about your involvement in this super shady secret company? That you'd have no idea what they do or what they're about. How about that? And how about what you did with the coffin that may have been stolen, but is maybe opened, but maybe it's not? But what about the Noblesse? Are you the Noblesse? I don't know what the fucking Noblesse is. It's like, oh my god, dude. Like, it's all like this drama shit that has apparently been happening since before the show started, and you're just expected to know, and it's like continuing on, right? But like, I don't know that stuff, so I'm completely lost in this series. And there's no effort to like explain what's going on. So yeah,
Just gotta
the
watch the
show.
OVA. That's how you're a true.
Yeah.
You know how you're a true fan, bro.
So Nier, how handsome are these boys? They look like handsome boys. Do you think girls would like this show? Or for Joshis, is that the correct term? Yeah.
I mean, maybe like one of the guys is like basically just Raiden, but he's got really long fingernails or something.
Gross.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This show sucks. I don't like it.
Yeah, Nier just has professed to wanting the demise of Crunchyroll and the Korean anime.
Fire, why
industry.
didn't you cover this
A
shit?
hot
Ceasefire?
take, truly.
Fire, it's got boys love and it's South Korean. Why didn't you take this?
Because I swore off this kind of stuff a long time ago, so I just tossed it to Nier. And it's okay. Let's be honest here. It's also time for Nier to try taking a bullet. All right. I took a couple of bullets these past couple of seasons, so you
Yeah,
can take one bullet.
you took those bullets with nobody asking you to, bro.
I'll take the 5th case here. But yeah, any last words, Nier?
I don't know, man. It's just bizarre. Like, it's a very weird decision to start a series like halfway through a story, and it's an even more baffling decision to not even like think that there would be anybody new to the series watching this show. It's not great. I'm not really like a fan of the idea of adapting this show and like completely changing the art style as well, or at least not even like attempting to emulate the webtoons like art style at all. Like, God of High School did a pretty good job of
trying, yeah.
at least trying to emulate, key aspects of the original source material's art style, right? But this is kind of just like, yeah, but what if it was anime? It's like, well, that's boring. But yeah, this is not a good show. Not a good show if you don't like already read Noblesse. And if you do already read Noblesse, I feel like you probably wouldn't be that impressed with this series to begin with.
Yeah.
So
anyways,
Near, is this the last of the Crunchyroll originals, or are there more?
No, there's more.
there's
an
more.
even-
There's more. They have like some gay 3D thing coming up, right?
I mean, it's horrible. I love it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It looks really, really bad. They have that. They have that like almost I don't even know, like not Avatar. I don't know. There's some other one that looks weird as shit too. That's coming out. There's multiple 3D ones actually. If I
What's the
remember
one
correctly.
What's the one that came out that everyone doesn't like? That's like an actual original.
Are you
What?
talking about? Are you talking about the 3D one that like it's not out
Yeah.
yet? I don't remember what that shit's called, dude. Session in chat might remember.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
the Crunchyroll 3D unironically looks worse than Killer Bean. It does. Its animations are actually worse than Killer Bean.
Yeah.
Hold on, I googled it.
Which is awesome. Really, really happy that they're making that.
Wait, the spider one? That's a Crunchyroll original now? Oh no!
Get fucked.
Yeah, that's technically
no!
Crunchyroll original. They're doing fucking. Oh, X-Arm. Yeah, there you go.
X-Arm.
Yeah,
The heck is
that's
that?
just like. That's the 3D one that looks like fucking doo-doo.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I
believe
thought the
so.
3D one was
The one that kind of looked like Ruby but wasn't. That's the one I'm talking about.
Kind of look. To be fair to Ruby, Ruby
what was
looks
it?
better.
The 3D
than
one
that.
was called what is it? This Onyx Equinox or whatever?
You're thinking of
What?
another 3D one. That is the other. That's the other 3D Crunchyroll original. The one we're talking about was the one that the trailer came out of like a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, and that's the one where they like the animations are extremely like they're all.
Did they delete the trailer? I can't even find a trailer for X-Arm.
Shit, maybe they did. That
Onyx
one.
Equinox doesn't look that bad.
If I had to describe it, I don't know. There's probably a terminology for making this error in animation, but nothing is timed.
Oh no, yeah, here it is. Yeah, okay.
Nothing has any timing.
Yeah, X-Arm.
Oh, that's X-Arm? Oh!
Yeah. Like it's all just like you can tell the animations are keyframed like 1-to-1, not like just straight through. Like they're not fucking.
Yeah, this is so bad, man. Yeah,
Yeah, that is the one that kind of looks like Ruby. Oh boy.
Awesome.
Oh no! That fight scene is so slow.
I love Crunchyroll, dude.
Yeah, I'm watching the trailer. That fight scene
industry.
is so slow.
Gotta support the anime industry.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So who's gonna cover it?
I'm not fucking touching that show with a 100-foot
Oh,
pole.
I'll fucking watch that. Easy, dude.
I don't want to watch that.
Easy. I will absolutely watch that. I love ripping that shit apart.
Declaring war against all of the SF series around the world. What's the SF series?
San Fran, bro.
Street Fighter?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, sci-fi.
Who calls it SF?
What it is? I don't know. Is this the real Ghost in the Shell everyone's been waiting for?
Yeah. That's what
I
I've been
don't
waiting for
know.
anyway.
Fuck is going on? Noblesse?
Yeah. Yeah, Noblesse sucks.
More like no thanks. Get it?
Yeah. I don't know where Spire went. He's last, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk more about XR.
Oh, wait, when did he say... Wait, yeah, no, I don't know what happened. Anyway, he's gone, so
I heard a knock.
it's
He'll be
time to
fine.
party.
Yeah.
So X-Arm is a Crunchyroll original that is a show that's developed with an eye towards our community. And is made with our audience.
What an insult.
With an eye toward, with what eye?
Made
Like
for
a
our
blind eye?
audiences with the distinct intention to fulfill what they're looking for from us as a brand and what they're looking for from anime as an art form.
I mean, they're
Excuse me?
succeeding. That
I
is
mean,
what
I'm
people
pretty sure the
should
fans.
expect from Crunchyroll.
Pretty sure the fans have been saying what they expect from Crunchyroll for a very long time, and they absolutely refuse to deliver on that.
Yo, are you saying that Crunchyroll localizations are not good?
I am saying that Crunchyroll translations are fucking horrible.
Are you saying that they shouldn't be spending more money on random conventions and trying to network in such a way that Japanese production studios have literally posted interviews of how they get laughed at? Are you saying that they shouldn't invest money in stuff like that, sir?
Yes.
I don't know. X-Arm does not look like what I want. No thanks. I will take what is it? Mushoku Tensei? I think they're covering that. I'll take that.
Anyways, thank you, Nier, for helping to cover Noblesse. Definitely taking
That's what I want.
bullet for all of us. And with that, we are moving on to, I guess, me last. But yeah, it's definitely well. I wouldn't say least. Near's is probably slightly worse, but I am also. What?
I can't believe we live in a timeline where Netflix originals are better than Crunchyroll originals.
I can.
I can.
I can. I can. I definitely can.
Why is that so hard to believe?
Netflix has more money.
And they have less retarded people.
Well, they also spend it on their like shows and not like
Yeah.
gay fucking
Like,
cafeterias that their workers can't afford food to eat out of.
The translations for Fate Last Encore were atrocious.
Yeah, well.
But I still watched it.
Are you sure it wasn't just the dialogue is that fucking bad?
The translations did not match up with the dub. That's what I'm saying. How dare you?
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's still a good show though. I recommend it only if you're me.
All right, moving on. So I watched a series that
what'd you watch?
I think most people of a franchise, and this franchise, I think most people in the West pretty much don't know it fucking exists at all. Like, but in Japan, it is wildly popular. It is wildly popular. What?
Dragon Quest?
I think people in the West have heard of Dragon Quest by now.
Yeah, no.
They only heard of it after Dragon Quest 8, which was like 20 years.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so this franchise actually, I heard of it way before the anime was announced. It's like I was like I was browsing Japanese Twitter and I came across this sort of like abbreviation, and I was, what the fuck is this abbreviation? Oh, what is this shit? And then it was like down the, well, it wasn't really down the rabbit hole. I didn't really Google that. It was like, I realized that it was pretty fucking big. Like it was very big. But now it's here. It is Hypnosis Mike, and the specific name of the anime is Hypnosis Mike Division Rap Battle Rhyme Anima, because the full name is Hypnosis Mike Division Rap Battle. Short, you can hit. I believe the abbreviation is Hip Mike, or in Japan it's like Hipmai or something. That I don't know what the abbreviation is. But essentially, it's a mobile game, I believe. I mean, it's a multimedia project, quote unquote, but it's I believe it started out initially as a mobile game, but it is essentially a multimedia project, kind of pushing for music, doing all sorts of shit at the same time, music game, etc., 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 and kind of like Love Live, right, in a sense. But
Hypnosis Mike kind of sounds like the kind of games you'd find on DMM.
It does. It does. No, you're right. You're right. But essentially, the summary is weapons are banned in the future. Weapons are banned, and people instead do singing or rap battle or use their power of words or whatever the fuck through these things called hypnosis mics. And instead of again duking it out with weapons in battle, they duke it out with rap battles or whatever. And all these characters, these handsome Japanese men that will woo your hearts, are all rappers, proficient rappers who use these mics along with their various, themed whoever they are, whether they're the doctor or the handsome doctor or the handsome military man or the handsome fashion designer or the handsome random back alley dude or the handsome guy with a cap on or whatever, right? They will all rap and woo your heart or some shit like that. Again, it's a multimedia project, much like Love Live was back in its time, and now it's gotten an anime, and it's just the anime itself. I guess I'll start off with the audio visuals. So which one are you gave for now?
Who's your favorite boy?
All of them. I gave for all of them, guys. But
which one's the one that looks like a girl?
The pink-haired one is like the fashion designer one, I believe. He's like
nice shoes.
As expected, he's the one that sounds like really like girlish or whatever, and then again has the candy lollipop thingy, whatever the fuck. But what was I gonna say? Oh, the audio visuals, they're done by A1 Pictures. The blending, the hybrid 2D 3D animation is not. I don't like the way they've done it because it's like, how do I say this?
Is it like Love Live?
No, it's obviously gotten better with age, but it's like you kind of realize. I didn't realize this when it's like conceptually different how it's kind of bad with Love Live and Hypnosis because Love Live was just flat out bad, like the dance, and then everybody suddenly turns into these 3D marionettes. What the fuck. But in Hypnosis Mike, there are some parts that are like okay when these sorts of rap battles happen or these animation scenes, which are essentially rap battles, happen, blah blah, and everything's coming down the screen and all these animations are coming on, and then you're like, okay, whatever, and then how because rappers in anime always gotta fucking wave their hands around and shit, right? So obviously a lot of these sorts of hand motions are intricate, right? It's like flicks or whatever it is, right? Or like making circles with whatever, right? And these delicate motions are not done well by 3D models yet, right? So because of that, or like head tilts or slight like kind of motions, right? Sort of these like delicate facial and finger motions, they're all done in 3D. They're all done in 3D. So you're like, it's just not well done because I figured like, okay, well, maybe like the boom boxes or subwoofers, excuse me, not the boom boxes, but subwoofers and whatever stuff falling down in the backdrop and stuff would be 3D, and that would be fine. And then maybe they'd animate like the characters themselves in 2D. But it's exactly pretty much the opposite. Pretty much all the static stuff is 2D and all the animation stuff is 3D, which is understandable from production perspective, but it's not good from an animation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just all the delicate motions and stuff like that now kind of look clunky, and they're like kind of robotically kind of slinking around, and you're like, it's not like terrible, like again, like Berserk or like Love Live was, but it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. So that's sort of how it goes. I want to cover the visuals, the audio part a little bit later for obvious reasons. But I just want to cover how the story goes. The story is essentially pretty similar to how most idol anime adaptations go, where it's like, or 2D idol anime adaptations go, where they kind of show off each of the characters, right, and their kind of stories or how they're like, blah blah, blah, and what they're doing, right. So for instance, in Idol Master, they were showing like how, Asa, the older One-san was clumsy, and then Makoto, like the Prince Charming, blah blah, all these like character personality kind of thing. And it's the same in Hypnosis Mike. They show this one group, this like trio. They all got to be in these like gangs or whatever all got to be in these like rap groups, which I don't really understand because that's not really how it works in any other part of the world, right? Like you're not like fucking what's Wiz Khalifa's group, It's not that's not how it works.
So where does Mori Calliope fit into all of this?
Please stop. But so they each have these like individual rap groups, and then like I guess idol subunits is how the analog would work, right? And then each of them have their own theme, sort of like the Buster Boys or whatever is like the the protagonist group in a sense. And they're all kind of like wearing these red jackets and being all like brash but like friendly, like blah 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 blah. With each other, like sibling rivals,
but with a soft side.
Yeah. Like Terry, but with less ass slapping, right? Terry, King of Fighters, but with less ass slapping. It's kind of like that. But so each of them have this thing, and they show it in each of the episodes, and each of the groups also kind of like pass by each other and make cameos. They're like, oh, man, they're that group. We got to check this out or whatever. So they kind of like fade in and out of each other's episodes. But each episode is kind of showcasing what each individual group is like. So that's sort of how that goes. Other than that, there's not much going on, really. Again, it's not really too different from a regular 2D idol series. And with a couple of differences, and this is sort of where I'm going to talk about them. One is there are so many goddamn insert like rap battle breaks. It's weird. It's like, so Dark would, I guess, agree with me, where when you've seen stuff like Love Live or Idol Master anime stuff, it's like one kind of song per episode, right? And you're kind of like waiting for the build up to it, right? You're like, oh, well, it's a fucking idol anime. They're gonna put in a fucking insert song somewhere, right? And somewhere like by minute, I want to say if the anime total is like 18 minutes, right? Somewhere in like the 15th minute or the 12th, 13th minute, right? They're going to add in this insert song, right? And it's by the character that's been highlighted in the episode, and they're singing in the background while the idol does whatever they're doing, right? In the episode. That's sort of how it goes, right? Dark?
Yeah.
Or they do a concert and they sing the song or whatever the fuck. So that's sort of how it goes. It's like one kind of song or per episode, or even like one song per like multiple episodes, right? Per every 2 episodes or something. These motherfuckers just go into rap battles like every 5 minutes. I'm like, please stop going into rap battles, okay?
It's a way of life, dude.
They're just like, it's like at the start, they're facing off. It's like, oh, you want to go, huh? And then they do a rap battle, and it's like it lasts like, I don't know, couple of minutes or whatever, and then it all concludes and
it's called Reality Pal.
Yeah, and then they all split. Next day, they're all like going along, and they're like, "Oh no, there's a robber at the bank." And then it's like the robber's also fucking about to rap and holding the person hostage, or holding the woman hostage while holding like a rap, like holding a mic or something like that. And then they all also face off and do another rap battle, and you're like, "Okay, I guess sure, why the fuck not?" And then afterwards, like they're like kind of talking, being like, but blah blah blah, some sort of introspection, retrospection, like I'm like this, my life is like this, the backstory is like this, blah blah blah. And then they have another fucking rap battle. I'm like, stop having these rap battles. Please stop having these rap battles. I swear to God.
I wish this whole series was just like in the closet.
Yeah, they just like
Fucking the entire thing a rap
So,
opera.
Spot, how many episodes have you watched of this?
6,
All
unfortunately.
right, all right. So you're an expert on Japanese rap, right?
So
Has
that's the
Japan
next point.
solved, like, found the
Right.
solution to, like,
Systemic
let's just
racism.
say urban crime rates? You know?
Yeah. So
So is it better? Is it? What would you compare their rap to?
I wouldn't. Okay, so I haven't heard a lot of Japanese rap, but I'm not sure if Hypnosis Mike is really
What about the rap in
representative.
Zombieland Saga?
That is not.
That's
that
not
is not
really.
quite Japanese.
Definitely
rap.
not representative of Japanese rap.
So I think this is a little bit more heavy on the sort of these are male idols, but then they also rap. So it's like a lot of these rap songs have a very idol heavy sort of like set of instrumentals, but it's or male idol set of instrumentals like rock, kind of like rock, kind of leaning into not classic rock, but it's like the um 2010s emo rock, kind of grunge rock kind of stuff. You know, like the ones that like Fall Out Boys, kind of yeah, it's sort of very kind of that sort of stuff that girls are into, and then they fuse that with rap lyrics is sort of how that works. So I'm not sure. Again, I'm not an expert in Japanese rap in itself, so I don't know how much representative this is, but I would guess it's not that representative because the focus is again on selling handsome 2D boys, right? It's not on the rap really. It's on selling these handsome men. These hunks of meat that also rap with their mics. But what I do want to say, going along with what Toast said about kind of pointing out this, is that it is very interesting to me how rap is a lot. I mean, obviously, in this series, or in this franchise in general, and in general, is kind of seen as just a form of music, right? And so it kind of just gets thrown into other fucking music, or it has these it's okay to have all these instrumentals, and it's okay to have fucking rap while fucking in the background a huge fucking blaring set of emo rock, grunge rock, metal kind of instrumentals are banging in the background. It's okay to have that. It's all sort of music, right? As long as it kind of is doing stuff. But I feel like that's a very Japanese culture way of thinking about it, because from what I can tell, the way that rap was sort of introduced into Japan was as an underground subculture, right? And what I mean by underground subculture is literally just kind of youth kids rebelling and literally going into basements sometimes, right? Basements or bars and kind of music clubs, right? Sometimes to hear stuff like metal and rock or indie rock and rap and stuff like that, right? And so that all sort of mingles, and it's about sort of rebelling and being like, "Hey, man, I'm fucking tough," and it's all the same with this metal rock stuff, and it's all kind of mingling together, right? So that's sort of how I believe it evolved as an underground subculture. But in terms of like the actual origins of rap in America, right? It was clearly very different, right? It was a very sort of this sounds cheesy, but it was a very on the streets in the Bronx um, kind of call to a song. I mean, obviously, the way it developed is as old as time, but it was a medium that expressed the cultural problems that was present in American society back then, right? In this sort of form, and you know, African American people, as well as generally people that were not in the best conditions, picked it up and kind of used it to talk about these things, right? And eventually, obviously, is split up into people talking about money and bitches and crack, right, and doing mumble rap and all sorts of stuff. But that was sort of this is how the origins and evolution started, right? So I think that's it's a very different sort of thing. It's much more free form. It's much more focused on kind of just the rap, right? Then Viacom locked on, yeah, exactly. Then we got Eminem, but so
That's also about the struggle, okay, bud?
yeah.
Right.
I do want to say that my personal opinion of Eminem is that at this point it's hard to deny what he's
There's
done,
a
but
well,
yeah,
look,
it's hard
there's
to
a
deny
very
what he's done. But
clear split between like rap that's like telling a story and like
yeah,
about
just
literally
rap,
like
yeah,
the struggle of being disenfranchised
yeah,
versus, like you're
money
saying,
and
like
bitches and
fucking
crack, yeah.
yeah,
But
and it's
yeah,
or just like talking
well,
shit. Like,
yeah, I think the biggest thing is like if because Japan kind of knows it like that, because Japan approaches it like that, they kind of just mix it with stuff, right? Mix it with metal, mix it just, boom, these protagonists, handsome male 2D anime protagonists are bursting out of a burning building while they're rapping, blah blah blah. We're cool, blah blah, and that's and that's sort of all integrated into one musical bonanza in a sense, right?
So,
Yeah.
so you're saying that this is the anime equivalent of 8 Mile?
I don't, that's a very interesting way to put it. I don't think
Who's
that's
the
how.
Eminem of the group? Yeah, who's got
Sir,
the fastest lyrics?
that's not how that works. There are some pretty fast speakers,
who's
but
got
What
the
I don't get is
hottest coffee pot?
yeah.
how can a
That's
Magi
an
Brilliant
awfully
Park
hot coffee pot.
how can a Magi Brilliant Park like afford to use like Kanye and stuff, but this anime doesn't?
Because they've all got their cool rap already, dude.
They
But
don't have the cool rapper names, do they? Like Dr. Dre and 50
yeah.
Cent and who's that guy with the thong song?
Oh
Who
fuck.
wrote the thong song?
I don't
Me.
know.
Cisco. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I think it's all to Japan, especially in the way that it's portrayed here. A lot of it's um kind of like a musical bonanza. It's like a circus, essentially. And I don't. It's not like I necessarily really care. It's like not every rap has to be like about the plight of the poor, the downtrodden against what the fuck's going on, right? People in power don't care. Not every rap has to be like that. Like I'm perfectly fine with some raps just being empty, but what I'm kind of dissatisfied about, in a sense, is the fact that the way it's portrayed in Hypnosis Mike is just like uh, it's like a circus again. Like the more the better. It's not just like with rap sometimes, simplicity, elegance and simplicity, right? And or just, have this rap going on, have it kind of sink in the one line, maybe an amen drum beat in the back, something like that, right? And that's enough. But with this sort of idea of Hypnosis Mike's, rap and the idol stuff, it's like it's never enough. You got to have more. You got to have more tracks. You got to have more synth. You got to have more metal rock and boom, boom, boom instrumentals in the background. You got to have voice filtering. You gotta have these guys rapping the hell out. I'm fucking tough. Blah, 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 blah. You gotta have them be as loud as possible. Always forte. Always forte. Always sharp lines. Boom, boom, boom. And it's kind of crass. And people will say, "Well, I mean, isn't rap crass in general?" I mean, no, I don't think so. It's just a medium that is very bare bones, and some people try to fit a lot into it, and some people are, can be relatively minimalistic in it. But again, I think in this case, some of the ideas about what rap is a little bit mistaken. What's going on? So that's sort of my opinion on how this sort of the tone of this Hypnosis Mic is. It's like uh anime wise, it's a general, it's like a standard 2D idol anime kind of thing. In terms of how the rap is and how all this stuff is, obviously they're trying to sell the handsome men in any way possible. So it's not really about the rap. And B, I think the rap in itself is too much moreish. There's just too many it's like having a stew and you're just pouring every spice you have in the cabinet into it. It's a little bit too much. So that's sort of how I feel. Overall, oh, I mean, although there are obviously some bangers, but I don't think any of them really show up in this. There are some like Hypnosis Mic intros that on YouTube that I really liked. But again, a lot of them are pretty moreish in terms of their sort of volume of things going
Okay, dude, but how hot are the guys?
on. All the dudes.
Yeah, you're like kind of covering like a bunch of shit that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I
how about you
apologize.
tell me? How about you tell me?
How?
How about you
How
finally get to the
fucking-
point about
How
the
much
real
How gay?
me?
How much anal sex is in this series?
Yeah, exactly. Oh Jesus. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Fucking I just that's overall I think if you like obviously if you like fucking hot 2D men with mics on their lips on the tip of their tongues at all times, check out Hypnosis Mic. Some of the characters are pretty funny. The voice actor is obviously you got to have one of them that you like. There's like a billion of them, right? So probably check those out. The 2D, I mean, the anime itself, I'm not too impressed by it, but I wasn't particularly impressed with the Love Live and the Idolmaster anime either. So that's that. And again, you guys heard what I said about the rap. So that's sort of what you should expect. It's a very moreish approach to rap. Overall, very standard sort of idol kind of mobile game multimedia project experience. I wasn't really impressed by it.
Does it compare to other mobile game adaptations?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I would say the idol anime that I like the most out of like everything I've seen so far is the A1 production
Cinderella
of the
Girls?
Animas. No. The original, the Namco.
Xenoglossia?
Oh, yeah, good catch, Toast. The one after Xenoglossia, the one by A1 Pictures, is the one I like the most, honestly. The other ones I like slightly less. Again, it is what it is. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had about Hypnosis Mic. If you're a Fujoshi, I guess check this out, but don't expect anything more than you would from a standard idol game franchise kind of thing. Anyways, yeah, that's all I had for Hypnosis Mic, and we are done with the reviews for today. Again, we'll be having another episode just covering all the stuff beforehand. Before we head off into our end of the year stuff and previews. We'll think a little bit about how we want to cover those because I know there'll be a lot of overlap and we'll have to review other stuff. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, on to the news. Not that much news, coming up to the end of the year. Obviously, people aren't exactly super active like they are in the summer and slightly in early fall and that trying to suck up new viewers or anything like that. And obviously, the pandemic isn't happening or helping things. So, a couple of industry news before we get on with it. One, Capcom announced on Monday that unauthorized access to its network has led to a customized ransomware attack.
Yeah, that.
The company revealed that some personal information maintained by the Capcom Group has been compromised, including personal information of current and former employees, sales reports, and financial information. Jesus Christ. Also stated that the attack may have compromised additional personal and corporate information, which kind of, covers a lot in terms of Capcom employees. Capcom will continue coordinating with law enforcement authorities in the US and Japan, a major information technology security specialist company, and external security expert. So,
yeah, well, it also let us know that Monster Hunter Rise is coming to PC, so get fucked.
that's true. Next,
Actually,
mobile
though, I do
game.
fucking hate that shit. Just gonna throw that out there. Like, if you have full plans of fucking releasing it on multiple platforms, I don't like that it's a standard that's not announced from the get-go, because I think that's gross. I understand
Welcome to
why
the
it
industry.
happens, but I fucking still think
They gotta
it's
suck it all out,
yeah.
bro. They gotta suck it all
Yeah,
out.
just fucking, have people buy consoles and then double dip because you don't say anything for 6 months, even though you know damn well what you're doing. Yeah.
Hey,
great.
hey, it's perfectly legal, okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Anyways, yeah, very nice. Next piece of news. Mobile game developer Delightworks reported its financial results for the period ending in July 2020 on Wednesday. The company reported a profit of about 12.76 million US dollars, an 81% drop from the 67.23 million dollars during the same reporting period last year. Delightworks is the developer behind the
Yeah.
Fate Grand Order smartphone game and its various spin-offs.
Keep in mind, this is Delightworks as a whole, not specifically for FGO.
Yes, that is
Although
true.
FGO has had quite a bit of a content drought for the past year. So
What about Van Gogh?
yeah, believe it or not, but FGO players don't really care that much about just new random servants coming out with no story precedent at all. No ties at all to the original Fate Stay Night series or anything. So I'm pretty sure Delightworks is probably gonna pull out what's his name, Masamune, pretty soon. Just to get
You
that
mean
spike in sales.
Shiro?
Yeah, Shiro.
What is it?
Who would win in a fight, Shiro or Archer?
Or Black Shiro.
Which Shiro are we talking about?
Rune Shiro.
Probably Masamune. He's kind of overpowered.
Anyways, so final piece of news before we move on to people stuff. The Association of Japanese Animations, or AJA, released its preliminary anime industry report 2020 findings on Friday and plans to release its full findings in a report on November the 30th. The preliminary report found that the anime industry rose 15.1% to 2.5112 trillion yen, which is around US 24.2 billion in 2019. The market was at 1.26 or 1.27 trillion yen in 2009. The 2019 numbers represent an almost doubling of the industry in the last decade. So again, a lot of this is kind of ballooning, our digitalization kind of finally going over to the market and kind of just opening up of the global anime market, right? Anime, or streaming rather. Anime market segments that decreased in 2019 include TV, home video, and music, continuing a trend from previous years. The television segment decreased by 15.2%, and the home video market decreased by 4.1%. Obviously, pretty much the thing that's carrying the anime industry right now is the streaming. So,
Shocker.
yeah. The authors of the report stated that due to the ongoing new coronavirus disease pandemic, likely causing a large decrease in numbers for the report on 2020, it will take until 2021 to fully understand the impact of the 2019 numbers on the overall market. So yeah. Anyways, you can view them. You can view the report on their site, I believe, in English. They released the English version of the report a few months after the Japanese version of the report here. Some people news here coming up. First, the Tokyo High Court sentenced actor Arai Hirofumi to 4 years in prison on Tuesday, reducing the court's initial 5-year sentence handed down in December of last year. The court explained that it reduced the sentence due to the actor paying a settlement of 3 million yen to the victim after the first sentence down. Arai was indicted in February 2019 on the charge of sexually assaulting a masseuse at his home. Oh, right, we covered this, I think.
Yep.
Police had arrested Arai earlier that month due to allegations of sexual assault involving rape. According to the investigation, Arai sexually assaulted a woman in her 30s about 2:30 a.m. in July 2018 after she came to his apartment to give him a massage. So obviously,
Don't do that.
guys, he's done a bunch of like live action film stuff like Gintama, Space Brothers, so on and so forth. Next, actor and voice actor Kirby Mora has passed away on November 18th at the age of 47. He did a lot of roles in live action anime stuff, Dragon Ball Z, Goku, Dragon Ball Z, Moroku, Inuyasha, so on and so forth. Troy Barton in Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. He reprised his role as Moroku in the currently airing Yashahime Princess Half Demon anime, so a lot of big works, but condolences to his friends and family. Next. The family of voice actress Yono Hikari Yono, revealed via her Twitter account on Friday that Yono passed away on November 15th. The announcement noted that Yono had been under treatment for an illness at the time of her passing. She did a bunch of roles, Mother of Kojo and Shiwase no Kojo-san, Tamura Sensei in Ultramaniac, Samurai Naruto, Rumiko and Hal, Knight and Pretty Garden and Sailor Moon Crystal, Season 3, so on and so forth. Please wish her family and friends all. Last piece of news. Manga creator Shinzo Keigo revealed on Twitter on Wednesday that his lymphoma is in full remission. The author was hospitalized and underwent surgery and treatment for lymphoma and tumor removal in April. He was later discharged in May, but then his recent Twitter post said that he had to go back and watch for remissions, and now apparently it has come up again. He is the author of the Noratu Zasso manga and Morning Tune that came out in November 2018, so on and so forth. The manga follows a runaway girl who does not know hope and a middle-aged detective who has lost hope, so on and so forth. Did a couple of stuff beforehand. Please, again, wish him a proper, speedy recovery. Hopefully no more occurrences after this. With that, we are done with the news. We are on to the shoutouts and callouts. Everybody here gets one shoutout and one callout each. Shoutout can be any one thing that you want to praise. 5 out of 5. Just be super optimistic and glad about. Can be any one person, place, or thing. And callout is the exact opposite. Rage. Be aggressive towards. Just put it in the trash bin. Rate it the same as Noblesse. And it can be any one person, place, or thing. And I'll go first, I guess, here. Shout outs to I want to do a shout out to how do I say this? I sound like a bad person when I say this, but I want to shout out winter and Christmas themes coming early because I'm always a sucker for these kinds of things.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I'm such a sucker for like winter themes and stuff like that. Then I'm one of the few. Pisacio's like dies fire. I'm one of the few people that like when early stuff comes, like I'm okay with these like winter themes thing. I find so when you know how it's like the U.S. thing, although it's in a lot of other countries too. These
Here,
days.
how's it for you?
Bro, it was fucking snowing last week, man.
No, I mean, Near,
I don't
do
wanna
you have
fucking
Christmas?
Deal with this shit. Yeah, we have Christmas.
When's Canadian Christmas?
Yeah, so it's like you know how it's immediately after Thanksgiving, or sometimes even some radio stations before Thanksgiving, start turning on Christmas music and shit like that, right?
Here they were playing fucking Christmas music the day after Halloween. Like
But yeah, so
Wait, you have
I
Halloween
like
too?
early winter stuff.
Isn't Halloween like associated with the Salem witch trials? Why do you have it?
No, it is not.
It might
No.
surprise you to know that
Halloween
other
is based on what is it? Was it All
pagan
Saints
stuff.
Day or whatever? Right?
Mexico, yeah, Mexico has Dia de los Muertos. Why do you have
But
it
I'm
here?
saying Halloween in general is based
Yeah,
on All
Halloween.
Saints Day,
Also,
which is
Halloween
a
generally.
which is a like Christian holiday, correct? If I'm not mistaken, and it's like
Hallows Eve.
yeah, it's just like it's bullshit where they fucking like made a Catholic holiday like just like some shit anyone can take part in to try and convert them. As far as
Yeah.
from what I
I thought
my
I thought
understanding.
Halloween. From what I remember, Halloween was like a pagan holiday, and then
Yeah, and then they
the
like
Catholics
were
like
like,
fucking stole it,
what
and
if
they're
we
like, "This
took
is our
Classic.
day
Yeah.
now."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're like, you can become Catholic too. See how easy it is? We have all of the same holidays. Wink, wink.
It's kind of like the whole centralization of the sort of sacred day to Sunday, right? Because it's not Sunday isn't special because Christians, because fucking the sun, right? Exactly. It's kind of
Yeah.
that.
What
But
are you?
yeah.
Sun
God
God
is
Ra
the
has to do
sun.
with Sunday? What?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, the
God is
Christian
everything. I
God, the
thought
Christian God is like the giant baby face from Teletubbies.
Teletubbies, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that reference is good.
Yeah.
But
I just look directly into the sun.
Yeah,
Thank
and
God.
then you
Yeah, thank you,
see
God.
God.
I know God is smiling down on me.
Why do you
Yeah.
think it blinds you?
Clap hands together. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think only
You
the
can
non-believers
sacrifice
get
your
blind?
eyesight. Yeah, you can sacrifice your eyesight to get a glimpse at God.
Yeah, that's how true enlightenment works. Yeah, but yeah, I really like winter Christmas stuff. Really, I mean, so I don't know. If you
Shut up, dude. Shut the fuck up.
If you like winter so
Don't
much,
hit
go
me.
outside right now.
Right now, I swear to God, if we were doing this like face to face, Nier would be like legitimately just like punching me in the side.
Slap you in the back of the goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Near. If you or Spire, if you like winter so much, go outside right now. Let's do an outside podcast. While we
just
stay inside.
run right
Well,
outside.
I mean,
right?
as far as weather's anything like my weather, it's fucking short weather still.
Yeah, it was actually a warm day. But anyways, that's sort of my shout out. And my call out is to this tweet I saw today. Toast, did you post that tweet today, by the way?
Which one?
You know what tweet I'm talking about.
No.
The fucking
Oh yeah, that was today.
yeah. No, it was yesterday. No, it was today, yes. You're
Yeah, I did it at like
Posted.
5 in the morning waiting for
yeah. So
Karuni.
some like smaller virtual YouTuber wrote a tweet that she was like, you know, this is blah blah blah's mother. You know, she passed away. She passed away on the 7th, and she legitimately used the word "amen," eternal rest. You don't usually use that in a tweet unless fucking the person is dead, right? Like it's not a light word to be used, especially in the context of how you write Japanese, right? How you talk in Japanese. So everybody was just like, "What the fuck just happened?" Because literally the day before, she had a tweet that was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out to the convenience store and buy some pudding and come back." And so everybody thought she got fucking like mugged and killed, like all the day before. And apparently she's alive. It was just that she was playing some ARG, like fucking. I don't know what the fucking ARG is. Is it like LARPing or some shit? Like what the fuck is it? Whatever the fuck on Twitter, and I was just like really fucking like I don't even really know who this person is, but this is such bad taste because it's like you just like by now look, it's 2020. You should know not to say shit like that on Twitter. If other people are like, right, you shouldn't. That's not, even if you were doing this roleplay thing, it should be very obvious. Don't do that sort of, right? So it was very disappointing to me, and just like one of the many billions of reasons why nobody should ever use Twitter ever. But it was so just don't. I don't care whether you're LARPing or phone sexing or whatever the fuck you're doing. Don't write that sort of. It's
If you want, if you
not.
Bro,
wanted to be more,
it's for fucking stamina boost in a
Yeah.
in a MOBA guy tweets out that
Yeah.
you died.
Yeah.
Refill your
Yeah.
stamina.
Yeah.
apparently it had
Fucking.
something to do with like her previous tweets mentioned like she was there was some murder happening in her neighborhood and she was investigating some sort of cult. So
Yeah.
if you read between the lines, I guess it makes sense. But also, if you wanted to say like, oh,
No. It will make sense in the context, but it's still not
it
a good
shouldn't
idea.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't
Exactly.
be like.
Like that shouldn't be on Twitter of all fucking
Yeah, it
places.
shouldn't be on Twitter.
Where
It's
you
a
just
very
scroll,
dangerous
where
game.
people are just scrolling through their feed of like
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to
hundreds
be
of
more
people
like,
they follow, and all they see is
Yeah.
this person is dead.
Yeah.
if you want to be more like tactful about it and more like
Yeah.
haha, this is a game. It could have been like
Warning, or like put the warning label or something.
or
yeah.
no. It's more like hey, or like have one of the other members be like, hey, this person's been missing for a while. When she was investigating this, I hope nothing bad happened to her. You don't go out and say like
Some sort
this
of
is
warning.
Or
etc.
just
like this is that person's mom. This person's dead. Like that's way too heavy.
Yeah, it's a very surprising. But yeah, that's just my call out. It was not.
But hey, exposure now. Now we're
But when are
interested.
we doing our ARG?
Faking our deaths. Yeah, just faking our deaths
Yeah.
here. Anyways, so that was my call out. And next, I guess, is Toast. Do you want to go?
My shout out.
Yes.
I sure love Shonen Jump and anime from the '90s in general. I sure love my shonen.
I love anime and
Whoa,
sushi.
hero from the Smash Bros. Series? What the fuck?
Is Fate Stay Night a shonen?
No.
No, it's seinen, right? If you look at
Yeah.
manga, it'd be all seinen. I think all of them have been classified as seinen, right? I don't think a single one of them has been classified as, or have been chucked into a shonen magazine, rather. Although at this point, again, the whole like, people complaining about shonen not really necessarily being like a specific genre as much as it is like specific sets of magazines, right? That call themselves for boys, is I think something that merits mentioning. Because again, there have been series like Toloveru is in Shonen Jump, right? Like let's be fucking clear about this. So I think there is some merit to the whole like people being like pushing up their glasses and be like, well, actually, Shonen means set of magazines. It does sort of in these sorts of cases a bit more merit, worthy of merit.
I like my old '90s anime.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Rurouni Kenshin on speed dial right here. I'll watch that Kenshin versus Saito fight. That's good stuff. I'll watch some Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament. I'll watch Toriko versus Tommy Rod in the what is it? The glacial area, the food storage. That's a good fight. Anime is pretty cool, Is initial D shonen?
D.
No. No.
It's an interesting question.
No, it's seinen. Oh.
No, there's. I guess. Well, not again. This is again the problem with the limitations of trying to classify it into those four genres, right? Josei, shonen, shoujo, and seinen, right? Because those again in Japan at least those four refer to specifically um uh, uh, sets of magazines, like variants of magazines. So anyway, what about your call out?
My call out is that I could watch Heaven's Feel. I mean, I got a fancy breathing apparatus. I forgot what it's called, but I attached like this pump to my back with a hose, and I got a face mask and everything.
Okay.
Could have used that. I don't know. Just let me watch a movie, man.
Nice.
I mean, I don't care about Monster Hunter coming out in freaking December. I just want to watch Heaven's Feel.
So Nier, what about you?
I'm gonna shout out the Final Fantasy 14 new patch trailer. Looks pretty cool. The most recent patch was kind of one of the hypest like story moments in the entire game. So hopefully they can continue riding that high. It'd be nice.
Mhm.
My call out. Fuck, man.
Hold on, Nier. How much do you know about Belle Delphine?
None. I don't care. Why?
No, don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm gonna call out the lead writer for Necro Barista, which is an indie visual novel that came out like last year. This year? I don't
I
know.
think it came out this year. I think it came out recently, within the last few months. It might have
Yeah.
been in early access though.
Yeah. Fairly stylish game, pretty cool looking game. I've heard pretty good things about it. But earlier this week, I'm pretty sure, the lead writer was on Twitter, talking about how his game was on sale, and how Steam had lumped it next to quote unquote porn games like Saya no Uta. Yeah, and basically he was like, kind of crazy how Necrobarista, a multi-award-winning visual novel, is next to just straight up porn. And
Wait, what was the name again? I forgot. It was
Necrobarista.
Necro Barista.
Yeah.
Oh, this. I've seen this. Yes.
Yeah, I've been interested in the game for a while.
Mhm.
I still might pick it up, but yeah.
Those porn games.
Yeah, as you can imagine, people kind of blew him the fuck up, calling him an absolute fucking retard.
I don't know why. Why are my games next to all these sexist fucking porn games that only sexualize the sexy females, so they get all sexy on my face? Okay, why do they
Yeah.
do that?
But like, I don't know, man. Just how can you be so like unaware of like the medium you're like creating your game in?
Because
Like,
it's a unique take on the visual novel medium. Near
yeah,
okay, it's a unique take.
I
Just
don't
like
know,
how I just read the fuck, there was I posted this literally like an hour and a half ago, but it was some fucking summary of a rom-com anime. It was like this neo romantic comedy. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean by neo romantic comedy? I'm like, never use this phrase in front of my face again, or I will literally like reach through the monitor to Japan and slap you. Like, do not say shit like that.
Yeah, but after that guy got blown up, he deleted his tweets. He made his Twitter private and protected. So
The usual.
he's hitting his
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to call out, like, I don't know how you can like be part of a project like in the genre of visual novels and then be like shocked when like you realize that the genre that you're making the game for is overwhelmingly represented by like anime styled games. Like,
The thing is,
and then to have the call to be like, yeah, Saya no Uta is just porn. Like, to have like no awareness of like the impact and influence Saya no Uta had on the genre. Like,
Yeah.
regardless of whether you think it like deserves the praise or not, like you really can't deny that Sayano Uta like made waves, like huge
I mean,
waves.
to also be
Well,
like
the big thing is
Sayano
Sayano.
Uta, the porn game, and it's just to not even know the genre of that visual
Yeah,
novel to
the thing is,
begin with.
he
Like,
clearly did no
I don't
research
know, dude.
on
Yeah,
visual
it's like
novels. Yeah,
the
exactly.
porn game. Ah, yes, the like a horror, like Lovecraftian horrors, like never involve any sort of like, whatever. There's no
Yeah.
sexual content in Lovecraftian stories, is what I'm getting at, especially not ones that have like grotesque outcomes or taboo.
What about
Anything, nothing like that. That could, never would that.
Well, again, so I mean, the bigger thing also with what sort of Nier is getting at is Sayano Uta is sort of like the emblematic of the, I want to say, quote unquote quality side of Nitro Plus, because Nitro Plus is a very like on off studio. Like half their shit is like garbage, like
Yeah.
low junk kind of stuff, and half their stuff is stuff like Sayano Uta and so on. This and it's emblematic of that sort of style, the Gen Urobuchi style, right? Especially in the earlier days, uh, and how he kind of tells this grandiose story, and also involves, casual rape on the side, right? Or not casual, but drive-by rape on the side, right? And stuff like that. So, it is.
I mean, Nitro Plus
It's not a great.
is the company out here that like greenlit Genrobuchi making a fucking Equilibrium fan fiction. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Get like Nitro Plus stuff, I think, is a big, as you said, not only a big impact on visual novels in general, but in my opinion, Nitro Plus's visual novels and the way that Nitro Plus and Genrobuchi and everybody kind of approached it is one of the central original steps to people being like, oh, maybe these types of Japanese visual novels, or the way the visual novel standard structure is, can be used to tell a different type of story, a more unique type of story that's not just girls with different colored hairs trying to woo your heart. You know what I mean? Not just the Amagami, it's not just the um, love pluses of the world, right? So,
yeah.
Steins Gate too, yes. Steins Gate, Nitro Plus, exactly.
Yeah, well, guess what? The Neko
What
Brace
about
guy,
Fate Stay Night?
I guess Sugita will never have a fucking entire memory card dedicated to different save files on your game.
Yeah, exactly. And then can pick it out
Of
pretty
one
much like
route.
blindfolded. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're making a game,
Try to research.
maybe research the genre you're making
Yeah, exactly.
before opening your mouth,
Very, very unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right. So dark.
Jeez. Fuck, I don't remember. I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to World of Warcraft Shadowlands. It's a good expansion. I've been playing a lot of it. There's not like right. God, what is it? I could have been done. It was unclear as to like what I needed to complete, but I missed something and completed it today. Realistically, each week you could probably complete everything you need to do fairly quickly, like maybe in a couple hours or something. And that's everything you need to do. But then there's like a ton of other shit you could do. And like I wind up playing more when I don't need to do things. And thank God that's the route they went, because, when you don't need to spend 12 hours a week playing, I feel like, I can just log in and just do shit. Like, if there's stuff that I can just log in and do, that's not something I have to do. Because when it turns into things that you have to do, then it's like, well, I'm not going to bother because I'm not going to want to do this every week. So like this week, I played a lot. Next week, might not play as much. Week after, might play a lot again. It's like, that's just a really good system. So yeah, great expansion so far. I can't imagine it'll, can't be worse than BFA, and seems to already be even better, in my opinion, than Legion. So I think this is going to be the best one in a while. And then I don't really know. I don't know what to call out, to be honest. Fuck. What happened this week? Damn, dude. Bad things definitely happened. I just don't remember. Like, I was pissed off about something. What was I pissed off about? No?
I don't know, dude. Your white rage reaches comprehension.
He is at peace. He's at peace now.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah, I think I guess I'll just call out like. Yeah, I guess I'll
Racial
call
injustice.
That's a good one.
The what? The new Supreme Court Justice? Is that what he said?
I said racial injustice.
Oh, racial injustice. Oh, well, you know what? I'll technically call out like the new Supreme Court Justice. Because let's get political, all right? It's fucking really gay and stupid that they're like, you can't restrict religious like gatherings in a time when we need God, when it's like, all these, because then it's like, well, should I delight in these people just fucking dropping dead, these pastors that are like, I'm going to go against all these regulations and hold the service when everyone's telling me not to?
Oh yeah, that. I remember that.
Yeah, so now they had like a thing overturned to where like New York can't put the caps on it, even though New York doesn't have the cap that they tried to overrule, so it literally didn't do anything. It was just them trying to like prove a point. And the new justice obviously, voted in favor of what they're going to call religious freedom. But yeah, I mean, religious communities, I don't know. I feel like they're fucking stupid at this point. I'm just going to throw that out there.
r/atheism moment.
They're really fucking dumb, dude. Like I don't know, man. If you can't fucking comply with like 25% gatherings, you're like, I need to fucking be in a church today with fucking marble floors. That's what God wanted out of me. Then I think you're just an idiot. But yeah, fuck that ruling. That ruling was dumb as shit. And if for some reason we're not able to cap things like we need to in the future, then that's only going to cause more people to die. So that's going to be fun. The religious community spreading COVID in New York more and more is going to be great. And, then they'll cry like prejudice when it happens. So it's gonna be awesome.
Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. And yeah, I think with that, we are pretty much done with everything here. And again, we'll be keeping you guys updated. I know the next like month or so is I believe it's going to be the busy time because we're going to go into the new season and have end of the year, and we're going to have one more episode because everything's in episode 8, 9, 10, right? Kind of stuff right now. So it'll be a little bit busy time. We'll kind of have to stack and kind of have quote unquote sidecasts for for a couple of weeks. But we'll see how that all works out. But yeah, just kind of hopefully you can kind of grind it all out properly, and a lot of exciting episodes coming up with the previews and with the end of the year and everything else. So if you guys want to keep up to date, please follow us here on www.twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast. That's with the number 4. Or every other week at Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we stream our podcast recording live here. We talk about the latest and greatest in Japanese animation, media, anime, manga, light novels, or visual novels, so on, so much more. So check us out here. We keep recordings of our podcast in Twitch VOD format here, as well as on our YouTube channel, 4PlayerAnimecast, so you can check us out wherever. Keep us on updates. Obviously, updates are going to be important in the next month and a half, 2 months. Check us out there on Facebook, 4PlayerAnimecast, as well as on Twitter at 4PlayerAnimecast. So yeah, check us out there. Check us out here. And as always, we'll see you next time.